This is Contractor Sense with Ruth King.
Welcome to Contractor Sense. Here you discover ideas, tactics, news, and information that matters to your contracting business and you. I'm your host, Ruth King. This episode is sponsored by HVAC Trust Books. Go to hvactrustbooks.com to discover how this tool can help you close more sales. Thank you for joining us. Before I get into today's topic, I want to let you know about Global Entrepreneur Day, which is tomorrow, August 21st. In honor of this day, all of my books and manuals are on sale for one day only. More about that at the end of this program. So here's how we will help your business and you today. So what's going on in the HVAC world? What trends can you expect? Find out today as I talk with Pete Grasso, the editor of HVACR Business Magazine. In terms of full disclosure, I've been writing a monthly financial column for HVACR Business for more than 10 years, and I am thrilled to be able to turn the tables on Pete, who usually does the interviewing. Pete, welcome to Contractor Sense.
Thank you, Ruth. It's good to be here.
So how does it feel to be on the other side of the questioning?
It's different. I'll tell you what, I'm going to try my best not to turn the tables back and start asking the questions.
I know it's sometimes it's hard because we're so used to asking the questions from there. Let's talk a little bit about HVACR Business. It's free to all the contractors, correct?
Correct. All you have to do is sign up and be a contractor.
Right. And you just go to hvacrmagazine.com, right? Or hvacrbusiness.com.
Yes, hvacrbusiness.com. There's a link on there to subscribe if you aren't already a subscriber. And then you just have to fill out a form and you'll start getting the magazine.
All right. Very good. And let's talk a little bit about, I'm in there obviously, but who else does monthly columns?
You know, yeah, you're in there. You mentioned before that you've been writing for us for more than 10 years. You've been writing for the magazine from the beginning. And
that's right.
You have written more articles for the magazine than anyone else throughout the years. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Hopefully they've helped a whole bunch of contractors. That's the key.
They have. You know, they are. Your articles are consistently one of the most viewed ones on the site. But to answer your earlier questions, you know, I try to, as editor, you know, mine a very large group of authors throughout the industry, both successful contractors and consultants, as well as other business management experts, to get the best content for the readers. So that's really the bulk of my job, is to try to find the best people to write the most valuable columns and articles.
And you talk about everything in the magazine. You talk about not only financial, but sales and marketing and the technical side of business and what's coming up from a manufacturer perspective. You know, you cover it all, right?
Yeah, you know, we're mostly dedicated to business management content. And our goal is really from day one has been to help contractors run successful businesses. You know, more than 70% of contracting business owners have started off as technicians. So, you know, a lot of them know the technical side. So our focus has never really been on technical as much as it's been on business, because as a technician starting off, you didn't go to business school and all of a sudden you're running a business. So, you know, we cover finance, marketing, sales, a lot of articles on leadership, strategy, you name it. Anything that has to do with running your business, that has been our aim each and every month.
What do you see as the most requested topic and the thing that is of most concern to contractors these days?
You know what? Finance always ranks up there, but the one that is consistently one of the top things that contractors can never get enough information on is leadership articles. You know, how to be a successful leader, different ways of leading, you know, whether it's, you know, leading your staff or, you know, being the person in charge. Contractors really are thirsty for articles on that topic.
And you've got a whole team of people. And sometimes I think it's contractors who you actually interview about leadership too, correct?
Yeah, you know, we used to get different business experts to talk about leadership, but lately, these past few years, you know, as I've gotten to talk to more and more contractors and learned from them, I've kind of tapped them to kind of give a first-person account of how they've become a leader and what kind of things work best for them and their business. And really, that's become the most valuable thing to the other readers, is to learn from their peers.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is important. Do you see anything and anything going on better? And I want to use the word better or improving, whichever way you want to look at it, with respect to I want to say the need, but it's more than that, like the lack of people coming into this industry so that we can have talent to take care of the homeowners and the businesses in future years?
The industry has gotten so much more sophisticated just in the 5 years I've been editor of this magazine. Contractors are much more business savvy these days. So you notice our content today, as opposed to 6-7 years ago, is a little bit more, I want to say, not complicated, but higher value business practices. And I think, and I can talk about this a little bit more, recruitment and getting more people in the industry continues to be a major concern of a lot of contractors. And the more contractors I've talked to, the more successful ones have seemed to kind of figure out how to address that issue.
Training, do it yourself.
Absolutely. That is absolutely it. It's education and training. And so many contractors are starting their own training centers, not to mention all the taking advantage of all the training provided by the manufacturers and the distributors. But, I remember the old way of thinking was always, why should I invest in training someone only to have them leave and go work from someone else? But I don't hear that so much lately. A lot of the progressive and successful contractors I speak with, they don't believe this anymore.
No.
They think that if they're investing in someone's future by giving them an education, they're going to be rewarded with that loyalty. And that is totally true, because especially with millennials, they want to feel value. And if you're giving them the value of a career, they're very loyal.
Right. And the value of a career and the things that they are doing good work, and they're taking, they want to feel good about whatever job they've got.
Absolutely. I spoke recently with Brian Stack, who's the president of Stack Heating and Cooling, and he happens to be a neighbor and a friend of mine up here in Ohio. And he put it so eloquently. He says he never looked at any of their competitors as rivals, because there's so much work out there, and that if he trains a couple of guys that don't work out, he's glad that they're able and trained well enough to go work for someone else, because he doesn't have a problem with that, because he's only making the industry better. And I think that's such a great attitude to have.
I agree. It is the right attitude to have, because we've got to train them so that they will be productive and they will be profitable for the company as well as profitable for themselves.
Right. And it just makes the industry better as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. When we get back from break, we're going to continue the conversation. I'm talking with Pete Grasso, the editor of HVAC, our business magazine. We'll be right back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense. I've seen my clients' salespeople struggle when a customer asks why they should use your company rather than the competition, when your price is higher and you both are proposing the same equipment. I've seen technicians struggle when customers ask them whether they should replace an 18-year-old air conditioner. And most salespeople and technicians never ask the one question that most customers are concerned about, yet never ask. Can I trust you? I found a tool that gives your salespeople and technicians the ammunition to answer this question and more. And the tool works. How do I know? 68% of my clients are using it to increase sales and referrals. What is it? A trust book with your name on it as the author. More details are at hvactrustbooks.com. Warning, there is only one contractor per area that can get these great books. Some areas are already taken. They've gone to my clients. If you want your area and want to have a tool for your salespeople and technicians to increase referrals and sales, then go to hvactrustbooks.com now and reserve your area.
Eliminate costly warranty leak repair headaches. 3 years ago, Ruth King wrote a leak policy letter for one of her clients who was dealing with huge warranty leak issues. When she gave the letter to technicians and trained them on how to use it, warranty leaks went from zero, that's right, zero. Then, she gave the letter to one of her other clients and any contractor who wanted it. The results? The same. Zero warranty leak repairs. The unexpected benefits? An increase in replacement sales. Ruth shares the letter with anyone and everyone who wants it. So, get your sample leak policy letter for free. No strings, no catches, no guarantee of results. Go to hvacchannel.tv or call us at 877-520-4321. Click on the link in the middle of the homepage to get your free leak policy letter. I hope you experience zero warranty leak repairs and eliminate a major costly headache.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense. I'm talking with Pete Grasso, the editor of HVAC Business Magazine. And before the break, we started talking about recruitment, and we started talking about the fact that we have to do training, and that's good for the industry and it's good for everything. And Pete, you had a couple more comments about that, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. One of those things with regards to education and training really leads back to recruitment. The labor shortage continues to be an issue in this industry. But as I mentioned before, a lot of the more successful contractors I've talked to have been creative in their recruiting. They don't simply look for good technicians anymore because those are difficult to find. Instead, they're looking for great people who fit with their company culture, and then they invest in them and train them to become the technicians they want at their companies.
Technicians and installers too. You want to know where a couple of mine have found a lot of really good employees within a couple of years?
Yeah.
In bars and restaurants.
Service organizations. Yeah, sure. Anybody who provides great customer service, it can be trained to provide your customers with great customer service.
Yeah, one of them recruited somebody from Olive Garden, and he said they are not afraid of asking for the order because at Olive Garden, they are required to upsell every single table. So they're used to asking the questions. Now, we also give them a test called the Bennett Test. I don't know whether you're familiar with it. And that tests their mechanical ability. They have to have some mechanical ability, obviously, to be a tech or be an installer. And if they pass both of those two things, terrific. We train them.
Yeah. And I forget who it was, but I spoke with a contractor not long ago who said that they were out at a restaurant, just like you were talking about Olive Garden. They were at a restaurant and had a fantastic waitress. And, before the meal was over, they were talking to her about coming to work for them because they were so impressed with her customer service skills.
Right. Absolutely. So as you've just said, and we've talked about is the fact that our employees are everywhere. They're not necessarily in our business.
No. And another key is to really, really start young. Go to the high schools and talk about this industry. It's such a great industry to have a career in. And because the technology has been so advanced these last several years, there's no reason why this industry can't compete with those tech jobs that the kids want. You can make a great living in this industry and still feel good about yourself because you're helping people.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can make a whole lot more money than somebody coming out of college with an English degree who has no clue what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
I've got to get that through the heads of guidance counselors. I mean, everything we can do to do that is it's not only going to college. You can do things that are outside of, quote unquote, a 4-year institution that can produce great careers.
Yeah, there's been a big push with that recently, that college isn't the only answer. And I think it's slowly but surely starting to build momentum and get across to the high school kids that they don't have to go to college. They can make a great living in the trades.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you have a company that's willing to train you.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a company that I work with that is literally in the middle of nowhere in Arizona, and they train everybody. They take them young and green because there's no training schools around there. There's nothing around there. So they have to train them, and they've built a great training center, and they come in and they train them. And I think that's the answer.
Yeah, it really is, because you're gonna find great employees if you create that culture and you hire based off of that culture, and that is really so important. I've yet to speak to a contractor who doesn't think that company culture is one of the most important things to their business, because it's not just important to find good employees, it's really important to keep the ones you have.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk about the culture thing a little bit, because there have been people over the years that I've known, and I'm sure that you've known and talked to too, that have phenomenal cultures in their businesses. And there's some who have really raunchy cultures that people are there until they can find another job. What makes the difference, in your opinion?
You know what? It's on the owner to really impress upon his or her employees how much they care about them as people. And, I hear that every month when I talk to contractors that say, I always ask them, what's the most important aspect of your job? And 9 times out of 10, the response is people. They really like working with the people, not just their customers, but their employees, and letting them know that they're invested in them and that they want to do what they can to help them in their careers.
And that's really, really important. And it's, I think, important also to ask, what's important to you and see what they say.
Yeah, I was interviewing a contractor out in Rhode Island actually last week, and in the middle of the interview, he said, "Can you hang out a minute?" Because he had 3 new employees that were starting, and he could see them outside his office, and he wanted to go personally introduce himself and thank them for coming to work for him. And I thought, wow, that's really something special.
Absolutely. And it makes an impression on them too. It makes them feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the owner of the company. He's been around for a long time, and he stopped what he was doing just so that he could go say hello.
That's cool. That's really cool. 2 points for him.
Absolutely.
All right. In the last couple of minutes that we have together, are you seeing other trends in the industry? We've talked about the culture. We've talked about recruitment. We've talked about leadership. Anything else you're seeing that could be helpful so that we can watch out for and pay attention to in the future?
Sure. I think from the contractor side, I think that we're going to continue to see more consolidation in the industry. And it's hard to say whether that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing yet, but I'm just seeing more and more consolidation of contracting companies, not just with franchises, but just, acquisitions and mergers. And I think that's going to be an interesting thing to watch for.
Definitely. Very much so. So, all right, we'll watch for that. When you think about it, how many of us, and I'm putting myself in that category, are, in their 50s and 60s and looking to retire, and how many are younger contractors who are just coming in? So, I mean, we're dealing with, myself included, the issue, okay, what do we do next? Where's the retirement thing? What are we going to do? I mean, many contractors don't want to run the businesses anymore. They're done in their 50s and 60s, and so they are going to look for exit strategies. And so we're seeing that, I think, with baby boomers too.
Yeah, it's interesting. It kind of goes through cycles, I've noticed, with regards to content in the magazine, because for a while we're running articles on getting your business plan in order and running your business, and then all of a sudden we're running articles on succession planning and what to do, how to exit. And I think that as we run more of those articles, we'll get back into that cycle where you've got the new group of people running these companies that'll have to start talking about, business plans and that sort of thing again.
Yep, absolutely. Pete, give us the website address, because HVAC Business is free. For those of you who are listening to this podcast and who do not get this magazine, it will help you in your business. So Pete, give us the website again.
Sure, it's hvacrbusiness.com, and you can subscribe to the magazine. Just on the left-hand side, there's a subscription center. But one of the things about our website that's really great is that our entire library of content from the past 13 years is available on the website. Every article is there and searchable. So all you got to do is sign up, take a look at the website, and you can find almost anything you need. We've got it broken down into different categories, whether it be management, finance, strategy, leadership, communications, sales, marketing, you name it.
So I've been writing for 13 years, huh?
Yeah. Are you tired yet?
No, I love it. I love, because all the contractors I work with give me so much fresh content and ideas for future stories. So, but Pete, thank you for having me as a contributor to the magazine, and thank you for being with me on this podcast.
Absolutely. Anytime, Ruth. It was a pleasure to get interviewed for a change.
I'll bet. And to all of you, thank you for joining us. Choose one thing that you discovered and implement it in your business. These ideas, tactics, and strategies help you make more money, have more free time, and give back. If you like today's program, spread the word. Please review this podcast on any device you're listening to it on. Help a fellow contractor make more money too. Now, the details for World Entrepreneur Day. I am having a one-day sale in honor of this day. If you'd like to get the list of all of my books and manuals on sale, call me at 770-729-0258 or email Ruth King at hvacchannel.tv. Thanks for listening. Have a great and profitable day.